It's time for Marion County football as we have the Marion County Football Coaches Show with head coach of the Knights, Ross Brown. Tonight's coverage is brought to you by Big Papa Smokehouse in Lebanon, United Threads, and Farmers National Bank. Now, let's head to Big Papa Smokehouse in Lebanon for tonight's Marion County Football Coaches Show with head coach Ross Brown on G&G Productions, where it's live and free.
Good evening. Welcome into the Marion County Coaches Corner Show here on G&G Productions, live from Big Papa Smokehouse in Lebanon. Jamie Murphy and Marion County head coach Ross Brown with us here on this Tuesday night. Don't forget, each Tuesday night during the regular season, come on out and join us live right here at 6 o'clock at Big Papa Smokehouse for the show. And, of course, if you miss it, you can catch it on G&G On Demand and the various platforms on G&G Productions. And man, Coach, another week, another one-score game, but unfortunately you and your Knights come up on the wrong side of a one-score game this week.
Yeah, I said last week I'm getting tired of these, one-score game, close games. I'd like to have some breathing room at some point, but another hard-fought battle. Unfortunately, we didn't come out on the right side of this one, and I think this one hurts a little bit more than the one earlier in the year, but I will say this, we fought, and my kids gave us everything that they had, and we had some execution mistakes, but I couldn't ask for a better effort.
Yeah, and a 3-2 record as we reached the halfway point of the regular season here in Kentucky already, and just quite literally maybe one or two plays away from being a perfect 5-0.
Yeah, I mean, it's right. 4 points away if you want to look at it like that, or a couple of plays, and we talked about it as a staff this week, how close we are to being 5-0 at this point. And, people thinking that we're great. And we would know better because we would still know how far we have to go. But, just a few plays away, 4 points away from being undefeated at this point.
And looking back, when you took the job, in the spring and in the preseason, did you really think you'd be – 3-2 is not a bad place to be right now at this point. Did you ever think that, or you just kind of –
No. Yeah, 3-2, I think I could have envisioned, but if you would have told me that we had a real chance to be 5-0 at this point with just a couple of plays changed here and there, I probably wouldn't have believed that. So even though I'm not that impressed with the record that we have right now, we're just a few plays away from it being pretty dang impressive. But so yeah.
And still a lot of football to be played, obviously. 5 regular season games and hopefully a handful of postseason ones.
Yeah, the real season, the way we consider it, just started, right, with district play. So the second half of the season will obviously be more crucial because it means playoff seeding and all that kind of stuff. But, yeah, long way to go.
And we'll unfortunately rewind and look back at the game last week as we get on into the show. But turn our attention to the future, a short week with Thomas Nelson on Thursday night. It's a good week for a short week. It's coming off a loss like that.
Yeah, I kind of like it because it gives us a chance to get that taste out of our mouth earlier than sitting with it for another day. So I think kids are itching to get back out there. I know I am, and so I'm kind of welcome this. The only bad thing about this week is the weather throughout the week and causing a problem with practice and logistics. But other than that, I like that we're playing on Thursday this week.
That's Marion County head coach Ross Brown on the Coaches Corner Show here on G&G On Demand. Coming up, we'll recap that game on a Friday night at John Hardin and look ahead to the game on Thursday night against Thomas Nelson. Plus, we'll be joined by veteran of the show now, Nathan Shuck, and Zach Cameron a bit later on in the show. Also got to thank our friends out here at Big Papa Smokehouse, United Threads, and Farmers National Bank for being able to put on this Coaches Show each and every week right here on G&G Productions.
When you want barbecue done right, head to Big Papa Smokehouse in Lebanon. At Big Papa's, we take pride in smoking our meats low and slow in our very own outdoor smoke pit, using a special blend of hickory and oak wood for that rich, savory flavor. Pulled pork, brisket, ribs, all seasoned with our original in-house rubs and recipes, then smoked to perfection with delicious sides and desserts. Taste the difference that only Big Papa's can deliver. Find us at 737 West Main Street in Lebanon or call 270-699-2321. Big Papa Smokehouse, where every bite is smoked with pride. Looking for custom t-shirts or embroidery? Come see us at United Threads in Lebanon. Whether it's for your ball team, your business, a family reunion, fundraiser, or your club, we've got you covered. From hats to shirts, we can design it, screen print it, and embroider it, all all done in-house with top quality results. Find us at 100 Corporate Drive right behind Hardee's and next to Kroger in Lebanon. That's United Threads, because when you look good, your team looks united. When you want barbecue done right, head to Big Papa's Smokehouse in Lebanon. At Big Papa's, we take pride in smoking our meats low and slow in our very own outdoor smoke pit, using a special blend of hickory and oak wood for that rich, savory flavor. Pulled pork, brisket, ribs, all seasoned with our original in-house rubs and recipes, then smoked to perfection with delicious sides and desserts. Taste the difference that only Big Papa's can deliver. Find us at 737 West Main Street in Lebanon or call 270-699-2321. Big Papa's Smokehouse, where every bite is smoked with pride.
Opening an account is easy at Farmers National Bank. We're here to help you get started.
With options like secure checking, student checking, and even senior checking, we can help you find the account that best fits your current needs. Farmers National Bank. Local, friendly, ready to serve you.
Member FDIC.
Hey, and welcome back out to the Marion County Football Coaches Show here on G&G Productions, live from Big Papa Smokehouse here in Lebanon. Jamie Murphy and head coach Ross Brown with you. Again, tough loss, 30-29 to open up district play on a Friday night on the road at John Hardin. And we'll dive into the game a little bit here. How do you think your team handled, through your eyes, Cavalli Pittman?
All right. The kid, he's a good runner. He's just a good football player. So, and he carries the ball so many times that he's going to get his. You know, you can't stop that kid. You can only hope to slow him down. And I thought we did a decent job of that. And actually, you know, at some point in the late first half or second half, he never came back into the game. So we were physical with him to a point. I don't think I've seen anybody be that physical with him this year, and he didn't finish the game. So, I thought we did a pretty good job. Consider we definitely made a lot of mistakes and should have done a better job, but it didn't handle it that bad, no.
And, going back to the end of that game in overtime, they get within 29-28 and they go for two. And there's not an exact script or a perfect way to handle the end of game situation, but were you surprised to see a home team go for two in the win in that situation?
No, because we jumped off sides. So, they were going to kick the extra point, just like we did, but they were able to pull us off sides, which moved it up to the 1.5 yards, which gave them that confidence to go for it because they were going to kick it had that not happened. So, no, as soon as we jumped off sides, we knew what they were going to do. It was just a fact of trying to stop them at that point, and, we just couldn't get it done.
Did you ever at any point consider going for two yourself to kick off the overtime, or you just want to take the points in that situation?
Yeah, no, we wanted to take.
Opening an account is easy at Farmers National Bank.
Had we not jumped off sides, so we would have been going to the second overtime at that point, and then, we liked where we would have been. Yeah.
And that comes back just you talked about it, in the past. Really, every show we've had, just little mistakes add up to sometimes big results.
Yeah, huge. And it wasn't just that. Like, there's so many things that had to happen in that situation in order for us to give that game up, and they did. And some of them are mental mistakes. Some of them are mistakes that are just freak accidents. We had a pass intercepted that would have ended the game. And it just happens to go right through his hands and bounce up just perfectly to the receiver running behind him. And there's, nothing you can do in that situation, except the next time you're in that situation, make sure you either catch it or knock it down. But, it's when things like that happen, sometimes it's just unlucky. And you just got to make sure next time that doesn't happen again.
And on the jumping off sides there on that extra point, was that just a hard count or just kind of getting a little overeager?
It is, and they they snap down on their extra points, which they do every time, which we didn't jump off sides any of the previous times. But in that situation, I get it. He's trying to make a play. We're all trying to make a play. We're going to try to block it to win the game. If they don't get the extra point, then we win. So everybody's eager to try to get that, and they're going to hustle. And it just led to a mental lapse there, which ended up leading to basically them going for two.
And it's a good coaching point to kind of zone in on how important special teams are, especially if anybody watched the NFL over the weekend. You can tell what special teams means to a football team.
Oh yeah, I mean it's not a third of the game as far as the number of plays that are going to be run, but in importance it is. And we kind of feel like if we ever win the special teams battle, then that gives us another leg up there. And we definitely didn't win that Friday night. We were pretty poor on kickoff coverage, and we gave up that play right there. Other than that, we did pretty well. We kicked extra points better than we have all year. But, yeah, it wasn't just that play. There's so many little plays leading up to that could have been done differently, and we wouldn't have been in that situation to begin with.
And we kind of talked off air, you fumble, going at the 7-yard line, going in, you're ready to score and go up 2 scores. The interception gets deflected to a receiver, jumping off sides. It's almost like the universe was, in John Harden's favor on Friday night.
Sometimes it feels that way as a coach, right? There's sometimes that, I just look up, I'm like this only could have happened one way, and everything that needed to happen happened. And at some point, I guess we got to look and say, well, maybe we got to do something different. Maybe I've got to prepare them differently because this can't keep happening.
Yeah. So, and, to focus on the positive, though, the defense kind of held its ground, for the majority of the game, in terms of points allowed and regulation around that 21-point mark.
Especially because they started 3 of their offensive drives inside our 30 because of kickoff returns. And so to give them that field position all night and only give up that many points, I think the defense did a great job because their backs were against the wall from the time they stepped on the field most of the time.
And it didn't result in a win, unfortunately, but, the offense with its highest point total of the season so far, too.
Right. I think we did some things better offensively this week. Still a lot of things that we got to do better to be a complete team. But we moved the ball up and down the field most of the night, and just made a few mistakes here and there that were costly.
And John Harden on their last 2 possessions ended up with 16 points, counting regulation and overtime. What did they do differently on those last 2 possessions, if anything, or was it just kind of how the game played out?
Well, it kind of how the game. A couple. I think we had a penalty or 2 that extended that last drive. Didn't extend, but just gave them first downs easily in that last drive. And then, like I said, the ball squirting through the hands was kind of it doesn't happen often. It's just something that happened right for them. And so even with giving them the penalties that we did, we still should have made the stop. But, things happen.
After, kind of going back a couple of days and, clearing your mind and watching film, anything you think you could have done differently in the last 2 drives, or was it just? Oh, sure.
That's like, yeah, right. I think there's a lot of things that we could have done seeing the plays that they ran. But in that moment, I thought for the most part we did a pretty good job, except for, the bonehead penalties. And then, like I said, it's a freak accident, the ball going through his hands. So, no, there probably wasn't a whole lot we could have done differently. But if we line up and do it again, chances are it's not going to happen that way.
And I know it's difficult, to lose a game, especially that close in district play at this point of the season. But what's something positive you took away from this game from your team?
Their willingness and ability to fight, in a situation and stick in there. And we've come a long way. I think the kids were telling me they played John Harden when they were freshmen and got beat like 50-6 or 56-6, and to the point now where should have won the game, and being right there and like I said, should have won the game. It's a big improvement, and they can see how far they've come.
Yeah, and this massive improvement, from 1 year ago to now. How have you kind of built your program just that quickly to be competitive with a team like John Harden, who's perennially one of the tougher outs in this region?
I think it's the kids, right? I mean, we've got tough kids, and they've had to learn a lot, and they've had a lot thrown at them. But they got a lot of heart, and they're good football players, and it's a testament to how they've handled it. And they're still, we're still making mistakes. They still got a lot to learn, but fortunately, throughout this process, we're still able to be pretty competitive, even when we're agreeing to it, right?
Yeah. And how do you kind of, ride that line of, trying to remain positive and coach kids up after a loss like that, but also, not getting too low and too down? Because like we said earlier, there's still a ton of football left this season.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to get low and down, but you got to point out the mistakes, right? And that would happen, and they'll tell you too, even when we win games, sometimes practice the next week is not very much fun, and they see the seriousness because they know we got to clean it up. And so it's a fine line. You want them to know that, they should be disappointed. We should all be disappointed because of what we could have done. But at the same time, they need to understand that we could have won that game, and this is how we do it.
And how'd the players react after the game to a loss that close?
Well, they were hurt, and as a coach, I'm glad to see that really. And I don't ever want to see people hurting, but it means something to them. You fear so much in the society today with these kids playing so many travel games and different sports and stuff that they play so much that they become numb and immune to losses. And I would be worried if we ever lost a game and I didn't see any of my players hurt about it. Then I would be really concerned, because to me it would tell me they don't care enough about it. So seeing that a lot of them were hurt lets me know that they do care and they are passionate about it and they don't want to let it happen again.
And what do you think the players took away from this contest?
That sometimes, hopefully, that sometimes your best is not enough if we don't execute and concentrate, right? So giving it all your effort, sometimes in life that's going to happen. You're going to give it everything that you have and you're still going to come up short, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that you're a loser. It doesn't mean anything like that, but you learn is, hey, I gave it my all and that's great, but how still could I have changed it? And would be the execution part, right? So even though I gave my best effort, that's great, but if I would have given that same effort and executed a little bit better and not made the mistakes, then we win that game, right?
That's Marion County head coach Ross Brown here on the Marion County Coaches Show, live from Big Papa Smokehouse in Lebanon. Coming up a bit later on in the show, around 6:45 or so, we'll be joined by Nathan Shook and Zach Camber, and a pair of players with the Marion County Knights to kind of look back at that game and look forward to the Thomas Nelson game on Thursday night this week. It's a bit of a short week for the Marion County football program. You're watching the Coaches Show, brought to you by Big Papa Smokehouse, United Threads, and Farmers National Bank of Lebanon.
When you want barbecue done right, head to Big Papa's Smokehouse in Lebanon. At Big Papa's, we take pride in smoking our meats low and slow in our very own outdoor smoke pit, using a special blend of hickory and oak wood for that rich, savory flavor. Pulled pork, brisket, ribs, all seasoned with our original in-house rubs and recipes, then smoked to perfection with delicious sides and desserts. Taste the difference that only Big Papa's can deliver. Find us at 737 West Main Street in Lebanon or call 270-699-2321. Big Papa Smokehouse, where every bite is smoked with pride.
Ready for a new adventure? We'll help you get there, by land or by water. New car, ATV, RV, or boat? Wherever your next adventure takes you, we make your loan process simple, stress-free, and fast.
Farmers National Bank. Local decisions, personal service, real relationships. Member FDIC.
Looking for custom t-shirts or embroidery? Come see us at United Threads in Lebanon. Whether it's for your ball team, your business, a family reunion, fundraiser, or your club, we've got you covered. From hats to shirts, we can design it, screen print it, and embroider it. All done in-house with top quality results. Find us at 100 Corporate Drive, right behind Hardee's and next to Kroger in Lebanon. That's United Threads, because when you look good, your team looks united.
Hey, back here at Big Papa Smokehouse in Lebanon for the Marion County Football Coaches Show. Jamie Murphy and Ross Brown with you. We're joined by Nathan Shook and Zach Cameron a bit later on in the show. Tough loss for Marion County on Friday night at John Hardin Open District play, 30-29. What was your post-game message to your team after the defeat?
Well, I try to tell them how, I was proud of them for, like I said, giving us everything that they had. We came up on the short end of the stick, but it wasn't for a lack of effort. And, really as a coach, that's all you can really ask for. And they did. They gave us that, so I was proud of them for that. That was the message.
And how do you kind of block out the outside noise, if you even listen to it at all? 'Cause, if you listen to people making picks and predictions and reading articles and stuff, you probably were a heavy underdog going into that game. And, you had them on the ropes late in the contest and nearly pulled it out.
Yeah, I don't hear any of that. I'm a person, I don't have any social media. I don't read any message boards. I don't read any message boards, so I wouldn't know what predictions are, and I wouldn't hear any of that stuff. I figured that they would be favored just because of history and recent history and stuff like that. But, yes, I guess we can be a little bit proud of it, but I don't take much solace in moral victory. So, I would rather have the real victory in that situation. But like I said, I am proud of it. They gave us, like I said, everything that they had, and as a coach, that's all we can ever ask for.
And does your message ever change, in the moment, post-game Friday night, to maybe the next time you meet on Sunday or Monday morning?
Yeah, I think it changes with situations, right? So, that night I wanted to let them know how proud I was, and then they understood as we got into this week also how disappointed we all should be in letting that get away and not executing. And so, even though I'm proud of them and they know it, they also know that there's now a sense of urgency that they're seeing maybe this week that they didn't see last week.
Yeah, and what's kind of, speaking of this week of practice, what's kind of been the theme of practice this week?
Clean it up, get better. I mean, we've been I'm not gonna lie, we've been kind of hard on them whenever there's a mistake made because we feel like evidently it's not getting through to them, the message, right? So a little bit more forceful this week to see if that'll trigger something. Yeah.
And how do you think they've responded to that so far?
Pretty well. I think they understand and they see the message that's coming from us, and so they feel the urgency.
So you mentioned, wanting to clean things up, and I'm sure you've got a mile-long list. What's the biggest thing or top priority you think you want to take care of right now?
Assignments, right? Knowing what your assignments are on every play. When we go to the right spot, we're pretty good at what we do, but we got to go to the right spot, and there's too many people being left unblocked. There's too many things defensively, jobs not being secured in what they're to do on each play. So it's just the mental mistakes. Yeah.
And when you say assignment, maybe go a little more into depth. Not too much, obviously, with your game plan and stuff.
Well,
what do you mean by assignment?
Well, just on every play, somebody's got an assignment, and our offense is a little more complicated than some old school power offenses that just block straight ahead on every play. We have linemen blocking down, some guards pulling and kicking, another guard pulling and wrapping. And so sometimes it can get pretty intricate, and sometimes people go to the wrong assignment.
So get halfway through the season. How's kind of the health of the overall health?
When you want barbecue done
Never
right.
100% healthy as a football team when you reach this point of the season.
Right, just bruises and bangs. Like Zach did a great job last week of playing through a lot of pain. He's had a shoulder injury since the week before, but he's a tough kid, and he played the entire game offensively and defensively. But I mean, he's definitely. I mean, it affects you when you have an injury like that. So he's not at 100%, so that limits some of the things that he can do. And we've got a lot of people going both ways. So you got people with sore ankles or a hip flexor here and there, but nothing too serious. And we should be getting Kenyon Wright, tight end that we haven't had since the beginning of the year, back in the next couple of weeks. So that'll help.
Yep. And playing through an injury is obviously physical, but it's got to be mental too for a player.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're not 100%. What you're trying to protect while you're out there, and I give them credit. We've been playing banged up. A lot of kids have, and it hasn't slowed their aggression and their want to be in the football game.
And we're halfway through your first season here at Marion County. How would you kind of self-evaluate yourself, and what have you learned the most about yourself as a coach?
Wow, I think I need to get a lot better. No, like I said, I can see the growth from the spring until now. I don't feel it's fast enough, but I don't think I ever will. Like I said, even if we were sitting here at 5-0 right now, I would sit here and tell you that we're still not very good.
Yeah. Your narrative would be we could easily be 3-2, right?
Right. And that would be it. But yeah, there's a lot of things. Obviously, I think we're still making a lot of mistakes, so I put that on me. Somehow I need to do a better job of getting it across to them what they're supposed to be doing, and we're working every week to get better as coaches, just like they are as players. So we're looking for answers constantly.
Yeah. Is there somebody you look to, maybe on your staff or family, friends that kind of help you, kind of self-evaluate how you are as a coach or what you're doing?
Well, like I said, we break ourselves down. So just like we break the other team down, what plays they run, out of what formations, we do the same thing to ourselves, trying to get tendencies, trying to see how we would coach against us. And that really helps. If you can't look in the mirror and see who you are, then it's you're not going to have that information. That really helps us try to evaluate how a team is going to attack us.
And being just self-aware like that, it has to be maybe the biggest challenge as a head coach.
Yeah, because sometimes it'll make you feel bad about yourself. Right? You think you got things figured out, and then after you study yourself, you're like, wow, you're not very good at all, right? And so I think everybody has those moments in any occupation where you have to step back and self-evaluate what you're doing. And I think that's great in any occupation because you don't grow unless you do that, right? If you're floating always thinking you're the best at what you do and you don't have to improve, then everybody's gonna pass you up.
Is that what kind of separates, the great coaches maybe from the good coaches?
Yeah, I believe so. It's just like players, right? Yeah, if you're ever satisfied with where you're at and don't think you need to get any better, that's when everybody starts passing you up. So coaches as well. So if you're not evaluating yourself and seeing your shortcomings and seeing how to improve that, then you're doing yourself and your team a disservice.
Yeah. Well, speaking of your players, kind of talk about just the character and the group of guys you have in that locker room with you this year.
Great character. Like I said, they're fighters, and they're tough kids, and we've been in a lot of those situations this year, and so they're getting used to handling that situation, and hopefully that's going to pay off at some point, and we're not going to flinch when we're in that situation again when it's really important and playoff time, and it means win or go home at that point.
Yeah. What can you do to maybe, we talk every week about being in these one-score games, what can you do to get yourself out of that one-score scores?
Score more points and don't allow as many points, right? It's the only way you can do it. But, yeah, again, it's just execution. We got to a point in this game where we were up 22-7, and had we executed from that point forward, then, it wouldn't have got any closer than that. But you make some mistakes, and John Harden's a good team, right? They're coached well too. They got good players, and they're hard to stop for an entire game. But we were in a situation to where we could have held that extended lead, and it might not have been so close.
It may just be my teams I follow are good at blowing leads. Is it difficult to be ahead 2 scores in a football game?
Yeah, no, it's not difficult it's difficult to have your kids not relax and take a breath, right? Because they work so hard to get to this point. And so when they build that 2-touchdown lead, they feel like sometimes they can take a breath and take a play off, and that's when the other team just drives right down and scores. So, and then before you know it, you're right back in a dogfight again. So that's where we were, and we got to stop doing that.
Yeah, you never like to lose, but maybe that's a good moment for your team to get a big lead like that. Maybe you're outside the Washington County game for the first time this season and have it slip away. So maybe next time you're up 2 scores that that might come back to kind of haunt them a little bit. Yeah,
and it's going to be on us as coaches to remind them, when we get to that point, hey, lock in right here, because this becomes the hardest point of the game. Right now, you got this 2-touchdown lead. Now you're playing against yourself, and so not getting complacent and not putting yourself in a situation to where we could give it up.
So 5 games left in the regular season. What are you looking forward to the most for the second half of this season?
Just improvement. I like seeing growth, and so. Seeing way less mistakes, better execution going into week 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if I feel like that the team has gotten a lot better from week 1, then, that's all I can ask for.
And we've talked about it a lot, getting into district play. Is there a little extra just kind of motivation and energy going into these games? Yeah,
there better be, right? There better be, and there should be, because it counts for something now. The Washington County game is great because it's a rivalry game, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really count for anything that means anything, right? Playoff-wise. So the games that we have coming up are going to decide, who you play in the first round or where you go and play in the first round, and so they have real bearing on what happens after this. So we're in a good district. It's a tough district, full of a lot of quality teams. And so it's exciting for me as a measuring stick to see how we measure up to these guys.
Yeah, and kind of a unique situation for you because, a lot of these players get used to playing in the same district year after year, but you're a first-year coach, so you're kind of seeing these teams anyway for the first time.
Right. And so my first year at this school, first year in this district, so it's all kind of new to me. But, it's you can look across it. It's a quality district. There's a lot of good football being played in our district, and that means that every week we got to pack a lunch and be ready to go. There's no weeks off. So it's fun to play in that kind of district because you never get bored. And it like I said, it challenges us, and it's going to show us where we are.
And on maybe a scale of like 1 to 10, how close is this team to reaching their max capabilities in your opinion?
5. 5.
I thought you'd go minus maybe on me.
5. Yeah, maybe lower than that. We can be so much better. And it's just about execution. And I said it at the beginning when we started doing these things. I've been in this situation before at a new program, and the jump from year 1 to year 2 is huge. But unfortunately for these kids, these seniors right now, they can't wait for that. It's got to happen now, right? So just naturally, years in the same system, you're going to see a big jump. But like I said, I've been pleased with how far we've come in year one, and I think we can get a lot better before the end of this year if we just start executing a little bit better.
Yep. And we'll be joined by a couple of players here in a moment, Nathan Shuck and Zach Cameron on the Coach's Corner Show. Last question for this segment. I know it's a short week, and then obviously you mentioned some weather concerns as well. So has everything kind of stayed on schedule so far this week for you?
Yeah, everything's on schedule. It's just been tough logistically with practice. Like tomorrow will be another issue. It's going to be raining and probably lightning all day, so we'll have to find a gym to get in and go through, which any football coach will tell you can't have a quality practice inside a gym, unless you're in Rupp Arena or the Yum Center or something that big, right? We'll adapt and adjust and go on. Yeah.
All right. That'll wrap it up for this segment here at Big Papa Smokehouse. Also want to thank our friends at United Threads and Farmers National Bank for presenting the Coach's Corner Show each Tuesday night right here on G&G On Demand. On the other side, we're joined by Nathan Shuck and Zach Cameron from the Marion County football team. This is a G&G production.
When you want barbecue done right, head to Big Papa Smokehouse in Lebanon. At Big Papa's, we take pride in smoking our meats low and slow in our very own outdoor smoke pit, using a special blend of hickory and oak wood for that rich, savory flavor. Pulled pork, brisket, ribs, all seasoned with our original in-house rubs and recipes, then smoked to perfection with delicious sides and desserts. Taste the difference that only Big Papa's can deliver. Find us at 737 West Main Street in Lebanon or call 270-699-2321. Big Papa Smokehouse, where every bite is smoked with pride. Looking for custom t-shirts or embroidery? Come see us at United Threads in Lebanon. Whether it's for your ball team, your business, a family reunion, fundraiser, or your club, we've got you covered. From hats to shirts, we can design it, screen print it, and embroider it. All done in-house with top quality results. Find us at 100 Corporate Drive right behind Hardee's and next to Kroger in Lebanon. That's United Threads, because when you look good, your team looks united.
At Farmers National Bank, we're more than just a bank. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your partners in success.
Whether you're managing your personal checking, growing your business, exploring digital banking, or applying for a loan, we're here to help with all of your financial needs.
Decisions are made right here locally by people who understand you and your community, because we live here too.
Farmers National Bank. Local decisions, personal service, real relationships. Member FDIC.
All right. Welcome back into Big Papa Smokehouse for the Marion County Football Coach's Corner Show. Jamie Murphy, Ross Brown, and joined now by players Nathan Shuck and Zach Cameron. And Nathan's becoming a veteran of the show's second straight appearance. But we're going to start off with the food coach. We talk about coaching up, watching film. We finally got Nathan to try some barbecue over here.
Yeah, I was proud of him. They came to a place that's known for really good barbecue and finally ordered barbecue. So that's an improvement too, a step in the right direction.
All right, well, Nathan, you ordered the same thing I did last week after the show. So how was it? And tell us what you got.
I got that pulled pork and mac and cheese. Yeah. Drizzle some barbecue on it. I think it was pretty good. It didn't disappoint.
And now, Coach, the next improvement is upgrading the sauce, right, to the hot, you said?
Oh, yeah. If you're not putting the hot sauce on it, then you're doing it all wrong.
All right. Well, Nathan, did you do any coaching up to get Zach prepared for what we're doing here today?
Not really. I mean, it's pretty easy. It's not as bad as I thought it was the first time. So.
You didn't get coached up, right? So you're just throwing them into the fire like you did. Yeah. That's fair. That's a fair thing to do. So we won't recycle all the questions we had for you last week, but I guess we'll start with that game on Friday night. We'll put that. I'm sure you put it in the ground already and moved on. But tough, hard-fought loss. But how do you build off of that and get better and improve?
Well, it's a loss. Nobody likes a loss. You just got to work off of that. Usually losses, they stick with me until the next game. You got to definitely work off of it just so you don't feel like that the next week.
So you don't have the 24-hour rule of where it's out of your head? You got to wait the whole week?
It'll definitely stick with me. It sticks with me for a good little while.
No, understandably so. And, same question for you, Zach. How quickly do you get over a game, whether it's a win or a loss?
If it's a win, pretty quick. If it's a loss, it sits in my mind. Think about how to get better every day. And you got to fix the blocking, everything.
Well, fortunately, it's a bit of a short week with Thomas Delsa coming up on Thursday night. So is that little extra motivation to get ready to kind of get that loss out of your mind?
Yeah, I just want to beat them. I just want to run through them.
Same for you.
Yeah, it's a short week, but I feel like if we work hard enough, we'll be all right.
And, playing a short week, it's only one more day, but I mean, when you're playing a physical game like football, how does that impact your preparation and your just, mentally and physically?
It gives you, usually when that extra day, it'll give you more time to work on things that you might have fallen short on the week before, but it's all right. I think it'll all work out pretty good.
All right, Zach, same question for you. How does a short week kind of impact your getting prepared for a game?
It's just harder to execute and learn what their offense and learn what they're going to do.
All right, so we kind of asked Nathan this question already last week, but we'll start with you, Zach. What's been your favorite moment so far? How's this year been going for you?
I'd say my favorite moment was beating Washington County because that's a rival. Yeah, but a few catches here and there, and been doing pretty good defensively. So. Yeah.
You play. I forgot to mention also you play receiver and cornerback. So kind of talk about your role as a receiver on this team in this offense.
Mostly blocking, but when I get that chance, I'll throw that rock.
And that's something that we're working on as a team, getting better at passing the ball, and that's something that didn't take place a lot here over the past 3 or 4 years in the style of offense that they've been in. So that's something that these guys know we've desperately been trying to improve it at practice, and so we can get better at that, and he can have a lot more catches the second half of the season.
Sure. And that's going to speak volumes to the character he has as a receiver. You want to catch the football, you want to run routes and catch passes, but he runs for the love of the game routes right now.
Right, and that's what it takes. And I mean, you see it at the NFL level too, man. The guys, my favorite team, Detroit Lions, right? And Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of my favorite players, and one of the things that they say, like, he does all the dirty work, right? He does all the things that a lot of other receivers don't want to do, blocking, getting physical, and when you're not catching the ball. And Zach is the same way, and he doesn't mind doing the dirty work, and he doesn't get a lot of glory at this point. Hopefully he'll get a lot more the second half of the year because we improved that passing game, but he's willing to do the hard stuff to get there.
Hey, that 4th and 1 play was, I think, a beauty last night.
Oh, yeah. Amazing, yeah.
The pitch back to Gibbs, yeah. Well, so speaking of players and the lines and things like that, so we already asked Nathan. I've already forgotten, but so if you want to answer the question again, you can. If not, let's go to Zach. What were some players you maybe idolized growing up watching?
One was Antonio Brown, wide receiver, and let's see here.
Just don't act like him, right, Coach?
Jalen Ramsey, because I don't know, he just talks trash. I like that. I like that mentality. And talk trash and then let them do all the bad stuff.
I'm a Josh Allen Bills fan, so I was never a big Jalen Ramsey fan at all. I used to go back and forth with Allen quite a bit. But so talking about playing quarterback, so what's the role of a quarterback in this defense for you?
Just playing my coverage, playing my responsibility. If we're in gray, just push that man in and get to my zone.
Do you talk trash at a Jalen Ramsey level, or do you kind of keep it PG on the field?
Not as much. All
right, that is Zach Cameron, receiver, and cornerback right here on the Marion County football team. So what got you involved in football to start out as a kid?
It was back in Little League. My dad, he put me in it, and then I just went from there, basically. I just fell in love with it right then and there, played every position. Except lineman, not big enough. Never was, but yeah, my dad.
Not me neither. No lineman experience in my repertoire either. What's your favorite position to play? Maybe if it's not receiver or corner.
Let's see here. Probably. Well, safety's basically DB, so I'll probably running back, something like that.
I was wondering if we could go quarterback. Everybody likes to throw the football around, it seems like.
Usually that's the linemen. All the linemen think they can play quarterback. Yeah.
Do you play, Zach, any other sports or involved in any other activities at school?
I used to, but not anymore. Used to play all of them, just got a little too much. I play actually track, but that's not playing, that's running.
You run track?
Yeah, run track, not run track. Yeah.
But you're still a two-sport athlete, so how important is that to kind of be a two-sport? Because we've had a lot these days now, instead of just zeroing in on one sport.
A lot of gas. I don't know, it's kind of hard sometimes. A lot of soreness and hard to recover sometimes.
Now, was football your favorite sport, or just kind of the one you're best at?
A little bit both. Favorite and best at it. I don't know. Could be a basketball player, just can't shoot.
You got to do the things that don't show up in the stat sheet, right?
Yeah.
All right. I think we asked you last week, but what was your favorite position? We'll go back, or favorite sport to play?
Yeah, I thought about it, and I think QB definitely. I think I could get out there and I could show my arm. I think I could.
You got to show off in practice now, Coach. You'll draw a play up for you or something.
Yeah.
All right. That's Nathan Shuck there in the middle. And to my right-hand side is Zach Cameron here from the Marion County football team, joining us here tonight on the Coach's Corner Show at Big Papa Smokehouse. No clubs or anything in school, just strictly football and running track? All right, good deal. So what side of the football do you like? It's always an interesting question to ask. Do you prefer offense or defense?
That's a hard question. I like offense because I can, catch the ball, score, obviously. But I like defense because you can hit. Yeah. That's always fun.
That's usually the favorite answer is defense, so I can hit someone. And Nathan, I think you said offense last week, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I definitely, I like carrying that rock. That's definitely my favorite thing.
All right, and I didn't ask Zach, and I've already forgotten your year from last year. What year are you, Zach?
Senior.
I'm a junior.
So what? Any future plans, or are you still trying to get things, just get through the season and figure it out after that?
If I don't go to college for football, then I'll probably go into trade school, be electrician, and then get my electrician license, and then try to travel, do that.
Not a bad plan at all there. So, being your senior season, what has this year meant to you? Just kind of, a revitalization with the program.
Trying to do better than that. Try to do better than last year. A lot better. Try to win a playoff game. I don't know. We already beat Washington County, so that's already off the thing. I guess the next one to beat is Taylor County.
That's coming up towards the end of the season with Taylor, and already almost that win total halfway through this year from last year. So how's the year gone and progressing, and what can you work on as a team to get better?
Learn the blocks,
I would agree.
and then DB coverage, a little better on that. I guess just blocking assignments, really, and then learning plays. Blocking assignments, learning plays.
And because you're in a unique position as a receiver and I know they're trying to work on the passing game and get that more utilized in the offense, but how difficult is it to memorize the routes you've got to run plus the blocking patterns?
It's pretty easy. It's pretty easy for me. I mean, all you gotta do, look at your fingers, learn the passing tree.
Well, you sound like a sharp mind. I'd forget all the plays if I were playing football. So, speaking of that in education, what's your favorite subject and least favorite subject in school?
Oh, crap.
I always count recess and lunch, too, if you want to say that.
All right. Favorite lunch, worst is probably English. I don't like English, not gonna lie.
Not an English fan? Okay.
Never understood that.
Nathan, we got your favorite subject last week. What's your least favorite subject?
Definitely algebra.
Algebra. That's
Definitely.
Teachers don't come at me, but you'll never use algebra in a real world scenario unless you're going into certain fields. But Coach may disagree with me on that one. But all right. So we always talk a lot about the running in the summer and practice. So we talked to Nathan about this last week. But Zach, could you outrun Coach in a 40-yard dash?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, I could.
Yeah.
Right now, I could.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when you're admitting defeat on this one, Coach.
That's one, I'll admit defeat there. I can't get him.
Well, Coach was confident last week with the two players we had on, so you should feel like you're in a good spot with that. All right, so we're at the halfway point of the season already, believe it or not. So what's kind of your personal goals for both Nathan and Zach in this season? We'll get.
My personal goal would probably be getting over 200 yards passing, or receiving, and then probably 2 picks.
Same question for you, Nathan.
I definitely want to break that 800 mark in rushing yards. Also, a big goal for home games. I want to break that touchdown record. I definitely want to get that. That's something I've been thinking about since my freshman year.
Okay, what's the touchdown record? Go into
7.
7?
It's 7.
Okay. How close are we?
Last game we got 4, so I think we're getting up there. We're working.
All right, maybe a good chance on that Thursday night to get that and break your record. So, speaking of the game on Thursday with Thomas Nelson, what's kind of stood out to you guys on them so far this week in film and practice?
We haven't really got to see them against a very good team that's decent. So we don't know their stuff that they're actually good at because they're getting made look good right now. So really, we can't see what they're good at.
Mainly pass. They do a lot of passing. They try to run their QB a little bit here and there. Do some halfback screen. They did a halfback screen. It didn't work very well, but they do some trick plays. Try to sum it up or try to switch it up a little bit. So I think we'll be ready for it though.
And kind of throwing wins and losses aside, what would make this season successful in your eyes? We'll start with Zach and go over to Nathan.
What would make this season successful? Probably just scoring when we're at the 20. We got to finish.
Having less flaws, fixing up all the stuff that we do wrong, definitely.
All right, and last question. I'll get you guys on out of here. I know you got a short week and a lot to get ready for on Thursday night. You probably know your answer, Zach. What game are you looking forward to the most over the next 5 games?
Taylor County.
Whoever's next in line. It's
next game up mentality. I'm sure it's the coach likes to hear over there. All right, well, Nathan and Zach, thank you guys so much for your time, and best of luck the rest of the way of the season.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, we'll be back to wrap things up right here on the Marion County Coaches Corner Show from Big Papa Smokehouse in Lebanon. This is a G&G production.
When you want barbecue done right, head to Big Papa's Smokehouse in Lebanon. At Big Papa's, we take pride in smoking our meats low and slow in our very own outdoor smoke pit, using a special blend of hickory and oak wood for that rich, savory flavor. Pulled pork, brisket, ribs, all seasoned with our original in-house rubs and recipes, then smoked to perfection with delicious sides and desserts. Taste the difference that only Big Papa's can deliver. Find us at 737 West Main Street in Lebanon or call 270-699-2321. Big Papa Smokehouse, where every bite is smoked with pride.
Ready for a new adventure? We'll help you get there, by land or by water. New car, ATV, RV, or boat? Wherever your next adventure takes you, we make your loan process simple, stress-free, and fast.
Farmers National Bank. Local decisions, personal service, real relationships. Member FDIC.
Looking for custom t-shirts or embroidery? Come see us at United Threads in Lebanon. Whether it's for your ball team, your business, a family reunion, fundraiser, or your club, we've got you covered. From hats to shirts, we can design it, screen print it, and embroider it. All done in-house with top quality results. Find us at 100 Corporate Drive right behind Hardee's and next to Kroger in Lebanon. That's United Threads, because when you look good, your team looks united.
Hey, welcome back out. Last segment of the Marion County Football Coaches Corner Show here, live from Big Papa Smokehouse in Lebanon. Also want to thank our friends at United Threads and Farmers National Bank of Lebanon. Back here with head coach Ross Brown as we get ready for a short week with Thomas Nelson. So how do you prepare for a short week?
Well, the best you can. We usually try to keep it as normal as possible. So, we usually have an order. Monday is a certain type of practice, Tuesday, Wednesday. So all we did was really condense a couple of days into one. So everything else can be kept pretty much the same. In the grand scheme of things, it's not that difficult because sometimes you probably beat some things over the head too much. It's one less day of preparation. It's one less day of healing. But as far as the mental part, just one day is not going to be a backbreaker for us.
But also, we've mentioned throughout the show, kind of a good chance to get the taste of that loss out of your mouth one day quicker.
Yeah, if anything else, that's the best thing about it in my eyes is to get back out on the field and get rid of that feeling, right?
So, Thomas Nelson, the opponent coming up on Thursday night. I got to get used to saying that, not Friday. So, again, we're remind the fans Thursday. What time is the kickoff for the game?
Should be 7:30.
7:30. Okay, so normal kickoff time. Just moving up one day, and you get to get back at home in front of your home crowd. So I'm sure that's a bit of a relief as well.
Yeah, friendly confines at home. That's always good. But yeah, not having to get on a bus and travel is always a good thing. So yeah.
Yeah. So what's kind of stood out so far to you with Thomas Nelson? They've got a first-year head coach of their own, and that's kind of a program in rebuild mode. But I'm sure still going to put up quite a fight. Put up 26 points in the road at Breckenridge County last week.
Yeah, my first impression is that coach is doing a heck of a job. Seeing where they're at now and seeing their level of execution, it's organized. They are getting pretty good at what they're doing, and they spread it out more than you've seen out of Thomas Nelson in the past. The quarterback is a good athlete. They got a couple of receivers that are good athletes, and they play hard.
And they're kind of a district game, kind of not, right? This year.
Right. Yeah.
So how do you kind of get your team, to stay focused and motivated? I'm sure probably doesn't take much coming off a loss to get them ready to go.
No, naturally the loss kind of helps us out there because they're ready to get back on the field and prove themselves. And, from what I understand, talking to the kids about their game with Thomas Nelson last year, that they were in a battle. And then after halftime, they kind of pulled away. So, I think it was Kyle earlier this year that said that was one of the games he was most looking forward to because of how physical it was. So, no, I don't think that we're going to have to beat it into their heads. They're ready.
And they're kind of a team, nothing to lose, right? No district competition this year record-wise for them, so they can kind of, pull some extra tricks out of the bag if they wanted to.
Right, not so much to have to be nervous about, right? And they can kind of let it all hang out. But a team like that sometimes is dangerous. And like I said, they're well coached, and they're getting better every week.
And defensively on that side of the football, what do you expect from Thomas Nelson on Thursday?
They look a lot like us. So when I look at them on film, they're doing a lot of the same things that we're doing, which I happen to think is a good idea. But we know what we're going to get. They're one of those defensive teams that don't try to do too much. They know the few things that they do very well, and they do them very well.
So we hear this a lot in basketball, a team that full court presses, they don't like to be pressed. So when you play a team in football that's kind of mirrors yourself, does that put you at a disadvantage when you go up against a team like that?
Yes and no. If they do it really well, then yes. But, from us running that defense, we know what gives us problems, right? And so because of that, you kind of know where their weaknesses are because they have the same problems that you have, right? And so I think it kind of helps in a way. With knowing where their strengths are going to be at and knowing what's hard to execute in that formation of a defense.
So what will be your message pregame to your team before you take the field Thursday night?
Let's get back on the right side of the call, right? and that's, like I've been saying, we want to get back out on the field when we get that taste out of our mouth, and it's just execute, next play, every play. Even if you do make a mistake on the previous play, that's all right, don't let it happen again. Right, so we're trying to cut down on numbers of times that happens, but mainly let's just get back out here and get a different feeling than we got at the end of Friday last week.
Yeah. So score aside, what's the biggest thing you're going to try to take away from this game on Thursday?
Yeah, just grades for linemen, grades for running backs on execution. Same thing I'm talking about Friday or Thursday. Sorry, I'm really less worried about the score and more worried about when I go through that film. Are the number of mistakes lesser than they were last week? Yeah.
All right. And obviously a big weekend in Lebanon, Coach, with Ham Days coming up on Saturday. So
yeah.
Any plans to attend, and have you attended before?
Yeah, we're carrying the flag. Football team's carrying the flag through the streets. And, yeah, it's something that I witnessed when I was a child back in the mid-'80s when my dad was coaching here. So, this won't be my first Ham Days, no.
Yep. And thankfully, much better weather than last year's was. That's the first one I went to was last year, and of course, it was just absolute monsoon the entire day.
Yeah, I guess it was, and I think the football team had a game that Saturday too last year, so there was a little something extra on getting through that and getting done so they could get focused on what was going on. But luckily we don't have that situation. We play Thursday. The kids can just worry about having a good time at Ham Days on Saturday and carry the flag.
All right, Coach. Well, that'll about wrap it up for the day. Best of luck to you on Thursday night, and we'll talk to you on Tuesday.
All right. Thank you very much.
That'll wrap it up for the Coach's Corner Show right here on G&G Productions, live from Big Papa Smokehouse every Tuesday during the regular season at 6 o'clock. And obviously, if you can't catch us live, feel free to find us on G&G On Demand. Also want to thank our partners at United Threads and Farmers National Bank for making it all possible. This is a G&G production.
When you want barbecue done right, head to Big Papa's Smokehouse in Lebanon. At Big Papa's, we take pride in smoking our meats low and slow in our very own outdoor smoke pit, using a special blend of hickory and oak wood for that rich, savory flavor. Pulled pork, brisket, ribs, all seasoned with our original in-house rubs and recipes, then smoked to perfection with delicious sides and desserts. Taste the difference that only Big Papa's can deliver. Find us at 737 West Main Street in Lebanon or call 270-699-2321. Big Papa's Smokehouse, where every bite is smoked with pride.
At Farmers National Bank, we're more than just a bank. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your partners in success.
Whether you're managing your personal checking, growing your business, exploring digital banking, or applying for a loan, we're here to help with all of your financial needs.
Decisions are made right here locally by people who understand you and your community because we live here too.
Farmers National Bank. Local decisions, personal service, real relationships.
Looking for custom t-shirts or embroidery? Come see us at United Threads in Lebanon. Whether it's for your ball team, your business, a family reunion, fundraiser, or your club, we've got you covered. From hats to shirts, we can design it, screen print it, and embroider it. All done in-house with top quality results. Find us at 100 Corporate Drive right behind Hardee's and next to Kroger in Lebanon. That's United Threads, because when you look good, your team looks united.
You've been watching the Marion County High School Football Coaches Show with head coach Ross Brown, live from Big Papa Smokehouse in Lebanon. Tonight's coverage is brought to you by Big Papa Smokehouse, Farmers National Bank in Lebanon, and United Threads. Thanks for tuning in. Join us next Tuesday night at 6 p.m. for the Marion County Football Coaches Show. And go Knights!